represents Ecosmob Technologies Pvt Limited. Just to briefly introduce you to him, I'll first of all request Mrs. Sarthak to kindly escort Mr. Ajay Pareek to the stage. And to briefly introduce you to our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pareek. एक मिनट मेरे को cordless दे दो. Yes, Mr. Pareek comes with over 30 years of successful experience in track and sales and marketing operations with large MNCs in the industry domains of office automation, telecom services, telecom infrastructure, renewable energy and IT, and he's also in fact developed a deep ground level understanding of business challenges and solutions. At Loyalty Xpert, a business vertical of Ecosmob Technologies Pvt Limited over the last 5 years, he's led the team to develop a robust platform for B2B digital channel engagement, loyalty program management and overall sales management. And today Loyalty Xpert is working with clients from industries such as electric, paint, coating, laminates, plyboards, computer hardware, fintech, medical equipment, automotive oil, to name just a few. We welcome Mr. Ajay Pareek, and I'll request Mr. Rohit Duggal to please welcome Mr. Pareek with a little seed box that we have, a little green welcome. I'll request Mr. Duggal to kindly welcome Mr. Ajay Pareek with the seed box. Thank you, and the stage is all yours now. Thank you. Yeah, sure. Yes, if you want a cordless mic, you can take this one. Whatever.
Very good evening, gentlemen. Since yesterday, we have been hearing every presenter who was there yesterday has been talking of growth in the market. And one thing I noticed that the gap between the organized players and the unorganized players, like 70% organized, 30% unorganized, which is a huge gap. Knowing very well that there are more than 2,000 players apart from those big ones. What we understood, we have been working very closely with the industry, in construction industry, in the material industry. And we noticed that this particular field, the channel sales, is something which is not easy. Not many people, opt for these kind of sales strategies. They have better ways of expanding their business or growing the business. It could be vertical growth through some product innovation, or bulk supplies, or maybe secondary supplies to the primary markets. But nevertheless, there are still many players who are very, very strong in their own way in different regions with their own brand. Now, this particular thing will apply to companies who believe in marketing their own brand. If you are an OEM supplier, project supplier, this may not mean anything to you. But companies who have a vision of growing their base through the distribution, they are the ones who will focus on this particular strategy. Now, second thing we observed, since I have been in sales through last 30 years, distribution is not the same if I look back 20 years back and today. The key challenges are, there are so many players in the market that it is becoming really tough to penetrate the distribution. Second biggest problem which nowadays we are facing, there are not enough qualified sales team who can do this business for you. Earlier, we used to depend on the sales guys in the field, but now it is becoming more and more difficult. And the third and the most important thing, all the big players, they find it very easy to adopt technology. And very slowly and gradually, all these big brands are moved into the technology field very fast, which is forcing the smaller players either to adopt technology or you stay away from the market. Because the market is now being defined by these technology players. And people start differentiating that if this company is doing it, why not you? And yes, it is very logical and obvious, because since the time net banking started, people started ignoring banks who did not have net banking. Earlier, those banks were reluctant to launch net banking, but now it has become a norm. Without net banking, the banks cannot survive. So the same thing will continue in every technology and process space. If you do not adapt, things will not be very easy going forward. So on that note, let me move forward. We saw the growth strategy of the growth trajectory of the paint business. There's phenomenal growth potential. We understood yesterday also. But the gap, 30% and 70%, is a huge gap. There's enough opportunity for people to grow in this space, provided you have the right strategy. Some interesting facts from this we have collated from one of the study which the experts have done on paint industry. The metros and tier 1 areas contribute 25% in value terms. So the main market lies again on the other side. For the past few years, demand in smaller cities and towns has been growing at a faster pace than metros. And of late, companies have started expanding their base in tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4 cities, which I'm sure most of you will be witnessing this thing in your own areas. And if you look at the management commentary, better scenario in smaller rural markets in recent earnings call, the margins are higher in those markets. In the bigger markets, the margins are taking the beating. Now, these are some of the imperatives which I have noticed for distribution channel management. Some common denominators which we have to see: product quality assurance and customer satisfaction, which is a basic thing. If you do not have the right product, distribution doesn't mean anything. The ROI for channel partners and partner satisfaction. If the channel partner doesn't earn enough ROI, he will not be interested in your business. The third, the width and the depth of the distribution. This is one big area which needs improvement. A lot of companies are not very comfortable with this width and depth. They are doing in a limited market. Let's say Delhi is a very big city, but maybe your presence is only in one part of the city. The balance city is empty. So you're not getting the full potential of the market. Next goes is two-way communication and continuous engagement with the channel. You cannot have gaps. In distribution, we used to know that there was the beat plans. Every week or every 3 days or 4 days, the guy has to keep visiting him, talking to him, and see the trends. The product availability and visibility. Product may be available in the market, but it is not visible. Doesn't make sense. So everything has to come together. So that brings us to marketing, promotions, product launches, and engaging events. Everything put together has to work together. Even if you miss out on one or two things, your investment in the other areas does not realize. Market share and revenue growth, which is one constant thing everyone is fighting for. Every day the sales team is getting into debate. How do we grow the market? How do we grow the revenue share? We have studied the contemporary ways of sales management. We are having sales team, they have a report, they have a beat plan, they report every day figures, they go to dealers, they go to painters, they talk to them, and whatever they say, they report back. Now, these are certain challenges in the process. 95%, the highest challenge is access to secondary and tertiary sales data. You are billing to the dealer, but what does the dealer do after that? There's a question mark. You can only know when he puts the repeat order, but between that, you don't know what has happened. Marketing alignment with sales. Your marketing department is doing a lot of schemes, but most of the times, it is not aligned with the challenges of sales team in the market. He is having his own plan. The sales team are struggling on their own. Fragmented marketing systems. एक मीडिया यूज किया, दूसरा मीडिया यूज नहीं किया. एक टाइम में किया, फिर गैप हो गया, फिर तीसरे टाइम किया. So that continuity is not there. Internal skill and expertise, I said about manpower availability and the trained manpower. Limitation with current technologies. Most of there are many companies who are still very reluctant to invest into things like ERP, CRM, or automated billing systems, those kind of things. Do not collect the right secondary and tertiary sales data. This is the biggest challenge. Even if I ask the team that how much that dealer has been able to sell forward, we don't have the right data. Number one, we don't get that data in time. So I cannot plan my next sale to this dealer. And I don't know that in his 5 brands, where is my brand standing? He's investing more in probably the other brand, but my stocks are low with him. Maybe some products are not available. So when people come and ask, he is not able to sell. but these feedbacks do not reach us in time. So we can't do anything about it. Current processes are not efficient. Now, how do we address them? The digital way, which everyone talks about, that you have to adapt to the digital process. Digital processes, in our opinion, in any field, whether it's manufacturing or sales or other processes, they do automation. And they do all those jobs which are mundane, right? Which are maintenance tasks, which any machine can do. And it saves the human manpower's time to spend those kind of times for this activity. So what this platform does, on the center is the platform, and what we do is we connect all these components to this platform. That's the first step. Your primary channel partners, your secondary channel partners, tertiary, influencers, employees, and your sales and marketing team. Everyone is on the same platform. That's the first way. Second thing, after having connected to them on the platform, now you have got 24/7 access to all these components. Now this platform, what it does, all the transactions, day-to-day transactions, they are recorded on the platform. On the far end, the users are connected with the platform through the mobile app, and your company is on the portal. So whatever transaction they are doing on the mobile app gets recorded here. And all your sales transactions, commission payouts, incentive payouts, ordering, stocking, complaint management, everything is on the platform. So all your data is coming onto one platform. What are the advantages? The fast and accurate incentive payouts. There are no claims required, no manual process. Everything is automated. There's no manual validation also, because this is most authentic. Real time and authentic data for analytics. आज ट्रांजैक्शन हुआ है, आज ही आपको मालूम पड़ता है. If you open the dashboard in the day, you will find out कि कल मेरा बिजनेस कैसा हुआ, कौन सी सिटी में कितना माल बिका, हाईएस्ट मेरा कौन सा प्रोडक्ट बिका. Everything you have available on the dashboard. You can go for strategic channel expansion. Lot of these solutions, they give you a geo mapping. कि ट्रांजैक्शन जो हो रहा है वो कौन सी सिटी से कौन सी लोकेशन से हो रहा है. तो इन वन ग्राफ यू विल फाइंड दैट इस सिटी के एक ही एरिया से मेरा सारा बिजनेस हो रहा है. However, you may have appointed a dealer for the entire city, but more than half of the city is lying blank. So that shows you the strategy that I need to appoint. Either I talk to him or I appoint 2 more dealers, because that area I don't have anyone. A simple example. We are doing this program with a lot of paint companies. He found out in a city there were some 50 registered painters on the platform. But when we found that how many painters are there in the city, there are more than 2,000 painters. So where is your market share? Out of 2,000 painters, only 50 are registered. So immediately he got a call, called the team, that I want next 2 months 500 painters to be registered on this platform. Now that's the sales team's job. Please go out in the market and do this. So when you do this, you will find the loops in the marketing. As to where is the loop, what is the gap, where people are spending time in the market. You have ease of new market and new areas launch. You want to enter into a new state. If you have a platform, it becomes very easy, because you start with registering people on the platform. Optimize marketing spends. आप लोग मार्केटिंग में बहुत खर्चा करते हैं. एक कंपनी का चैलेंज ये था कि इफ आई एम स्पेंडिंग lakhs of rupees in marketing, but I really don't know how is that converted to my profits, और उससे मेरे को बिजनेस का कितना फायदा हो. ये कैलकुलेशन कहीं नहीं. एक रिचुअल बन गया है कि मार्केटिंग में 50 लाख खर्चा करना है, कि 10 लाख खर्चा करना है. हमने ऐड कर दिया, होर्डिंग लगा दिया, बट उसका कैलकुलेशन नहीं हो रहा है. यहाँ पर इफ यू नो द पिन पॉइंट ट्रबल एरियाज कि प्रॉब्लम है किधर, then you will focus only on that area. That is what I said, talk about ROI management in marketing spends. Strategic and result oriented sales management. The sales team normally has a regular role. Morning में they come, they go out in the market, शाम को एक report भर देता है कि I went to these 5 dealers, ये report है. You don't have time to check the authenticity of that report. Now, day in and day out, if it does that, it becomes a very boring job. In our days, we used to have a ritual that I cannot sit in office. मेरे को हर तीसरे दिन मार्केट में जाना पड़ता है. And I go to every retail, I go to dealers, I talk to them and find out what is happening. Because if 1 week I don't go, there's a change in the market. किसी competition ने कुछ और कर दिया, लेकिन वो information मेरे पास आने तक बहुत time लगता है. I lose out on that market. And the last one is continuous channel engagement. They say that if you are continuously engaged, your productivity is automatically higher. अगर आपकी presence market में कम हो रही है, आपका business proportionally गिरता जाएगा. आपके यहाँ से कुछ product innovations नहीं आ रहे हैं, नए launches नहीं हो रहे हैं, या आप कुछ नई schemes नहीं कर रहे हो, तो आपकी visibility कम हो रही है, क्योंकि there is somebody else who is already doing it. And that is how Berger and Asian Paints, they are taking the market. Because every time they have a lot of exciting things to do in the market. And people get attracted to these things. So this is all about one single platform and how to manage. Now, how to manage this platform is an individual choice of the company based on the strategy. But what it does is you have to get everyone on board. Like we got everyone in this room, so at least we can interact. We can take feedback. I can understand what you've understood. So my effectiveness of talking is higher. I'm leaving with 4 most important questions. We ask the customer, are we convinced on the benefit of change to digital way? It should be yes or no. If they have any doubts, we can discuss, clarify, do this. What happens if we acknowledge the change and adopt the digital way? What will be the scenario? What will the world like? How will my business look like? He should have an answer for that. What if we do not? What if we continue the same way? I don't make any changes. I have 10 reasons for not doing it. You have reasons to do it, you have reasons for not doing it. So what if you don't? And when is the right time to change? If not today, tomorrow, then tomorrow is always late. It has to be now. And secondly, the more you delay, the advantage is more to the competition. He will sweep the market, and 2 years later, I will not even have courage to even think about these systems. So again, the point is, if you are promoting your own brand, if you want the market width and depth, if you want your product to grow in that manner, you will have to seriously think that digital way. If you do not have competency, you have to build it. If your team is not competent, you have to work towards making it competent. Because we have been working with companies where they are very open. They say कि हमारे पास qualified staff नहीं है. Who will manage this? So we offer those end-to-end help also. That we will handhold. Initially 3-4 months, we will help you launch the scheme. And once it streamlines, then you take it over. Because then it's only automation. It's only handling the portal, nothing else. And channels, after the initial phase, they become very comfortable with this. Because they see payment coming into the bank account state. इससे ज़्यादा अच्छा क्या होगा? शाम को उसको मैसेज जाता है कि कंपनी ने 3,000 रुपये आपके बैंक अकाउंट में जमा किया. तो दैट फेलो इज मोटिवेटेड. प्रोडक्ट में कंप्लेन है, डायरेक्ट कंप्लेन कंपनी में जाती है और आप उसको रिस्पॉन्ड करते हो. बिल्ड्स ब्रांड ट्रस्ट, ट्रांसपेरेंसी, नथिंग गेट्स लॉस्ट. अगर वो कंप्लेन हैंडल नहीं हुआ है तो आप डैशबोर्ड पे देख सकते हो कि इतनी कंप्लेंट्स ओपन है. यू कैन कैच होल्ड द रिस्पॉन्सिबल पर्सन एंड से व्हाई इज दिस कंप्लेंट ओपन. So that trust builds in the market. Because half the time, channel partners do not share anything and everything to the next stakeholders. Companies are managing this incentives in their own way, but the reliability is a big question mark. Like Modi ji जो बोलते थे कि सब्सिडी का बेनिफिट क्या सब तक पहुंच रहा है, and that is how he brought the direct benefit scheme. People were reluctant to adopt the digital payments. बहुत इशू था, धरने हो गए थे कि ये नहीं होगा नहीं होगा. और आज हम वही सिचुएशन देख रहे हैं कि विदाउट डिजिटल पेमेंट्स वी कैन नॉट सर्वाइव. So this is more or less similar to those challenges. Your team will object. team is never comfortable for change. They will always say, "नहीं sir, पुराना time अच्छा है, कुछ change मत करो." But the call has to be taken that who drives the business. As an owner, if I drive the business or my team will drive my business. Because आपके benefit में क्या है long term वो आपको देखना है. So with that I leave it. I think I have taken enough time. This is more on our company. We are basically an IT company. So we are not talking of our brand as such, because once my program goes to the client, it is the client's program. We lose the brand over there. And we are going by my experience, we are more keen to support the companies to implement the schemes. Portal तो बहुत simple है, कोई कहीं से भी मिल जाएगा. The challenge is in the implementation. And then the next challenge is to work with the data. So there we are continuously engaging with the companies. Thank you. If you have any questions, I can answer.
Thank you. In the interest of time, perhaps we'll end it here, and I'm sure you can catch hold of Mr. Ajay Pareek during the tea break. And if you have any questions,